again, this you guys might think, wait a minute, this isn't Take a Breath. This is Nehemiah Week wrap up. We are so excited to have you here, Debra. It's awesome to be here today.
It is. I thank you very much for inviting me and being able to share this and do sort of a review of what happened today at the Nehemiah Week. It was explosive, I think, Wendie.
It was amazing. So if this is the first time you're catching this podcast, this is day 4. So Monday, we had our Kingdom Business Tour. We got to go around the globe and check out Kingdom entrepreneurs, and it was awesome. Day 2, oh my stars, the speakers were amazing. We learned about training and how to build businesses with operational excellence. And then on Wednesday, we continued. But today, Debra, today was an amazing day. It was different than any other day of the week.
It sure was. Now, Wendie, maybe some people may not know us. I don't know how that could possibly be.
You are so correct. You are correct.
They may not know who we are. So if we haven't met before, my name is Debra Schlaht. I'm the Director of Training and Coaching. I'm a trainer and coach for Nehemiah Project. And just really want to welcome all of you to the podcast today.
And I'm Wendie Klem, Director of Operations for Nehemiah Project. You know what? I'm a trainer, a coach. I have been with Nehemiah Project for over 5 years. Debra, you're going on like 13, and this is not your first Nehemiah Week, nor is it mine, right?
That's right. But every year they just get richer and deeper and more powerful, really helping entrepreneurs who want to bring a kingdom perspective into their business. They're getting top-notch advice and information from thought leaders all around the world.
All right. Well, let's, for those who didn't have an opportunity to come today, you know what? First of all, let me just tell you, it is not too late because we are recording all of Nehemiah Week. So it is not too late to enjoy this conference. But let's kind of give them a recap of what the day started out as. Well, we start every day at Nehemiah Week off in prayer. And we had Steve from Australia open us up in prayer. And some of you may have had an opportunity to join us for that. But Debra, next came our praise and worship.
Praise and worship. Pastor Mamie from Paris, France, and her worship team, they just rock it every year. They set off the stage. They invite the Holy Spirit to be a part of it, put us in the right frame of mind, and really just lead us through that. I don't know. You can see everybody in the film on the video. We're just all rocking out and worshiping Jesus and coming together. We have learned not only English, but we've learned French, Spanish, Swahili. If you don't know how to praise and worship in any language, this is the place to come.
Absolutely. But, they can check that out on our YouTube channel and on our Facebook, Nehemiah Project International Ministries. You can check that out this morning. So we started with prayer. Then we go in with Pastor Mommy. And Pastor Mommy Lamond, I'm telling you, she's just amazing. And her worship team every single year. I have been blessed. This is like the 4th year I've gotten to see her at Nehemiah Week. But then we go the next step. And Patrice said this morning, I think it was Patrice who said, this is where you've got church and a business conference at the same time.
That is for sure. Because, what I've loved is that we incorporate a devotion. Before we get to business, we set the stage, we have prayer, we have worship, and then we have a devotion. And today we heard from Pastor Gabriel, and he had us called for excellence. Now, our theme of our conference has been operational excellence, and we've been learning about that today. But he brought it, I thought, to a whole new level.
That is so true. And I'm going to tell you, there's one scripture that he shared that it just rocked me. I was actually working with a coaching client, and this scripture came up, and it just really was amazing how what he shared today was just in that moment. He shared Jeremiah 29:7. Seek peace and well-being for the city where I have sent you into exile, and pray to the Lord on its behalf, for it's in its peace, its well-being, you will have peace. I love this. In where I have sent you, seek peace and well-being where I have planted you. That was so powerful. What a powerful message today.
It was. Well, he had several really good topics, Wendie, and I'll just kind of share a couple of the bullet points as we go through this. He talked about, Jeremiah 29, verses 4-11 was his foundational scripture, but we also looked at Isaiah 61-5, I think it was 4, and Acts 13, but several other scriptures as well. He said, no matter what happens, doesn't matter whether we have a pandemic, whether we have inflation, whether we have civil unrest or government unrest, search for new opportunities. Take the initiative and keep working. What a great encouragement for all of us to keep going and not to just stop and say, well, I say sometimes, well, would you look at that? But, we have to keep going. God has a purpose for us. He said, number 2, make things happen. 3, set goals with a purpose, because God sets his eye on the future. Okay, get this, not today's crisis.
Amen.
He is looking forward. He already knows what's happening today. He has his eye on the future. Okay, now I'm going to tell you what, I think this was this rocked my world. The Israelites were sent to Babylon because they went to the school of excellence. Babylon was known for excellence in education and architecture, agriculture. So sometimes I thought, wow, sometimes I think I'm having a wilderness experience, but maybe I'm going to the school of excellence. That change of mindset can make a huge difference in how I perceive my circumstance.
Well, you know what? This led so amazingly. I mean, Pastor Gabriel, I have had the blessing of having him preach a number of times. He preaches each year at Nehemiah Week. He's done it at some of our staff retreats. But this year, I mean, he brought the word that led into the next. Talk about speaking to the next group. Today was our investors forum. Now, this is kind of a Shark Tank-like feel, if you will, because we have entrepreneurs who present to investors, but we do what they don't do on Shark Tank. What we do is we bring best practices, right? We bring in an investors panel to help instruct us and prepare us as entrepreneurs who might be seeking capital, expanding their business. And man, we had top of the line speakers today. I'm going to tell you, this is my 6th Nehemiah week. Okay. Started in 2016, 6/1. This is the best investors forum ever.
I couldn't agree more, Wendie. We heard today we know about the 3 basic types of investors, right? We have our self-financing. That's God's best for our business. We also talk about equity investing, which is, giving a portion of our business, or debt financing. But today we were introduced to a new one, and that's called revenue-based financing. And I can't wait for the seminar where we're going to learn more about this in September.
That is true. That is going to be on September 15th, and it is going to be awesome. It is a free seminar. So if you are wanting to know more about what is revenue-based financing and what does that mean for my business, definitely sign up for that. You will put a link in our chat box. But, Debra, first of all, we brought in a panel of investors to really kind of pick their brain, if you will, and for them to share some really powerful nuggets. We had Rena Hicks from Kenya. I believe she was our business plan winner last year.
Was speaking tomorrow. Yes, she will. She's our 2021 International Business Plan Competition winner.
Wow. And Jeff Schaefer, he is one of our donors. He has been part of Nehemiah for a number of years. Amazing, amazing gentleman. Ron Wilkinson, our board chair. And then we had Edward Fitzpatrick, who joined us all the way from England. So we had Orlando, we had Vancouver, Washington, we had Kenya, and we had England on our panel. And just really sharing some really valuable nuggets, things I had not thought about. One of the things that really hit me is they asked the question about, do you really need the investment? To really ask and understand that. And I had not heard that before, but what a powerful message to really ask that question.
What I loved about this discussion is that, well, first of all, I put in the chat box, it reminded me about, that with many counsel, right, that we have a way for success out of Proverbs. And I really believe that they shared individually, but collectively, this idea of problem solving for the competitor or the business that was looking for some investment dollars. Could we find another way to help them? Could we have a longer term solution? Let's take a look deeper into their financials. I'll even give you an hour of my own mentor time. And so, I thought it was really powerful. It helped, I think, trainers and coaches to hear that conversation as we're building business plans. But it also helps our biblical entrepreneurs to look at their financials, their business practices in a new and innovative ways.
Well, I loved it because one of my concern, when I'm coaching entrepreneurs who feel like they might need capital is, making sure that they are very careful, because if they're not prepared for that capital and that investment, if they don't know how to manage it, it's just having a bigger axe over their head. They may think they have a cash flow problem now, but, get $10,000, $50,000 and now you have an even bigger problem if you weren't prepared for that. And I loved how they brought that and some of the information. Well, you know what? If you didn't get to come today, it is not too late. As I said, you can still purchase a ticket to Nehemiah Week and check out the recording. If you are an entrepreneur and think, gosh, I really need capital, you do not want to miss listening to what happened today. And if you're out there listening to this podcast, put your thoughts in your comments, what you gained out of today.
We love to hear that. Just one more thing about the capital. We heard one of our investors, Al Caperna, say how important it was not only to grow our top line, but to improve our bottom line even at a greater rate, so that it's not all about maybe more sales or more or higher pricing, but how do we look at other aspects of our business that can improve our total revenue picture. And so I don't know, I really got a lot out of our investors panel today.
I agree. But, then we went and we had an opportunity to hear from some of our entrepreneurs who have gotten capital.
And were they inspiring?
Oh my goodness. We got to hear from Gabriel Oleko, who built a school that's just doing amazing. They shared some of the pictures, which was awesome. Nina Mategi from Kenya, who shared about what they were able to do, taking their school, and they had, living quarters, I believe it was, are on site, and where they took it from this little house to this beautiful building that kids can thrive in. It was amazing.
I thought, this really takes away the sting, doesn't it, of being away from home when you are in a beautiful place that is so tastefully decorated, and with the top of the ladder kind of amenities, from the bathroom all the way to their bedrooms, the decorations on the wall. Wow, I'm in a wonderful place, and it really is conducive to creating the best educational environment for those students. It was really exciting to see.
Even the decor on the walls, the wallpapering on the walls with scriptures, and just really immersing these kids. And then Malala. Now, I adore Malala. I've had an opportunity to kind of watch her on this journey of getting the funding and being able to buy the dryer. She makes furniture in Madagascar. If you've not heard Malala's story, you absolutely want to. And the fact that she's done so well, she's now opening another business. She's seeking additional capital to launch a whole nother business. But you know what's so, oh my stars, amazing about that? She's solving another problem. She's taking what was the waste, if you will, of building furniture and developing another product that's going to solve the Matapele to have fire fuel for her country. Amazing.
It is amazing. Well, I've had, Malala was the 2015 International Business Play Competition winner, and to see her business thrive from her competition. I had an opportunity to join Patrice a few years ago to visit Madagascar to see her business and how she serves her employees and staff. But even more than using their waste product, Wendie, is that they have a deforestation issue in Madagascar. And so now this is an environmental product that helps to save the environment. We talk about a quadruple bottom line for our biblical entrepreneurs: the people, profit, kingdom impact, and the planet, and how she's incorporating being a solution to the deforestation, using her waste product and building a whole new product line. She's an amazing entrepreneur.
Well, okay. So, they're only giving us 30 minutes, Debra. I don't know why they think 30 minutes is ever enough time for us to really, it's just so much. So I want to take them on to the next step, because so we start our day, praise and worship, Pastor Gabriel, amazing, right? Devotional. Then we hear from our investors panel, and we get to hear from some entrepreneurs and the impact. But I lost count at the number of jobs that the three of them also created, which was amazing. But the next thing we did is we had our actual investors forum, where we had Tony and Zippy present to a panel of investors. Now, they had a great business. They are really stepping out, doing something amazing in Kenya. But here's what I walked away with that. I looked at the investors panel that was listening to the pitch. These were not just investors, right? These were not just people who do investing for a living. There were our entrepreneurs on there who have built kingdom businesses and now turning around and investing in other businesses, that were there to hear and to learn and to be able to do that. That was incredible. I lost count at how many investors were there listening to the pitch.
Well, I think all of us are invested in one way or the other. Maybe some of us through our financial means, others through coaching and mentoring, others through training, others just, behind them, just encouraging and supporting them. I know many of their Business Success Accelerator friends were there as well. Participants were there. And, we all have a vested interest. And that's what I love about this community of biblical entrepreneurs. We want each other to succeed. We want to see their kingdom business thrive. And they were Tony and Zippy are such an example of others, so that we could see how that's done. They walked ahead of us so we can see it. Experience it, answer the questions that the investors have, and to know our businesses, and really that's a vulnerability that you don't often see in the world's marketplace.
But it was even more than that too, Debra, because these investors were all about the best thing for them.
That's
Because
right.
they were even looking at, man, what about if they do this or that? You know, they might be able to not need the investment. We could take them to even the next level, that they could actually have a huge, bigger impact. I was blown away at the heart of what was happening. You know, I don't know if you've ever watched the Shark Tank. I watch them, and these people scare me because I think you're not really helping anybody. I want to help them.
Well, that's because the Shark Tank is coming at it from the what's in it for me. They're not coming at it from, you know, how are we helping you as the entrepreneur? How is it that we're building the kingdom in the marketplace? How is it that we're all going to benefit from what you do? Now, I mean, I'm not saying that they're not looking at their return on investment.
Absolutely.
Because they are, but that's not the primary focus, is what I think you see on that television show.
Absolutely, because God tells us we have to be profitable, and a man should be paid for his work. So I absolutely agree, but it was that holistic. It's one of the things I love about Nehemiah Project, and it's one of the reasons I am here. You know, I went from being an entrepreneur to coming with Nehemiah Project. It's why I'm here, because it is about building kingdom businesses. It's about, as I like to say, linking arms and walking this journey and making that impact. It was just amazing. The feedback, it was just so incredible. Well, Debra, that wasn't the whole day.
No, it wasn't.
I know you guys are thinking, oh my gosh, that is so much. And it was so rich. Well, each day we have breakout sessions, and our breakout sessions is where we just really give you a lot of meat, right? And really pour into you. And today we actually had 2 breakout sessions. Now we started this, I think last year or the year before. We started breaking a men and women's breakout session, and we do that today on Thursday. So Debra and I led the women in business breakout session. But Jason Braun led the men's breakout session. So let's talk about Jason first, because I can't wait to hear the recording. Because, you know, well, first of all, we were leading the other one. Now it's number 1. So we didn't get to listen to it. Plus we weren't men, and but we get to listen to it. Because he talked about your family with operational excellence, how to lead your family with operational excellence. Wow. And the feedback, people coming back into the breakout session, and their feedback was amazing.
It was. And you know, how to talk into the heart of the matter. We can have our businesses, but at the end of the day, it's our family that we holds us up and supports us, and that is our nucleus, right? And our worship of God, and how do we lead our families? And so I'm with you. I can't wait to hear that, to see what I can walk away with as a mom, and you know, how I can and how we can help support the men in our lives in the role that they play as well.
Well, you know, they invited us to be on here today to kind of talk. So we get to do a shameless plug. And so I'm going to do a shameless plug right now. So we did our Women in Business breakout session, and we actually ran it just like we would our podcast. So we have been talking about the Proverbs 31 woman, the modern Proverbs 31 woman, and her characteristics, and how do we walk that out with operational excellence. It was a great breakout session today. It wasn't a podcast. It was a great breakout session. We might be able to talk Victor into helping us share that out on our podcast, so we might be able to share that. I thought there were some great nuggets from the ladies who were there, and just really talking about that. It was really powerful today.
It was, you know, because you know, there's a lot of heroines in the Bible, and really the one that I tended to go past was the Proverbs 31 woman, because I always compared what I could do next to what she could accomplish, and I knew I could never do that. But Wendie, the real blessing of this series has been, it's not about the task. It is about our character. It is about seeking after God, loving him enough that what we do in excellence in all aspects of our life, that we are generous, that we're trustworthy, that we we run our businesses with good practices that can help sustain it, that we support our community, our spouses. And so she's become one of my new favorites in the Bible. And I just really aspire to be more like her.
You know, we talked about the heart of the Proverbs 31 woman and making sure that that's what we're leading with. So it was really powerful. Well, Debra, Nehemiah week isn't over.
No,
now,
it's not. We have two
I'm
more
going to bring up, I know it is your favorite of the whole week. And that is tomorrow is our international business plan competition. Tell them if there's a person out there who does not know what this is. I can't imagine, Debra, that somebody might not know, but tell them, what is that happening tomorrow?
Well, our international business plan competition brings the best of our 2022 students, end of 2021, 2022 students that have won not only their local competitions, but their country and their regional. So we have 4 regions that are represented from Asia. We have Joy and Gino that are representing Asia Pacific. We have Jennifer, who's representing Europe. We have Jason Centeno that is representing North America. And we have Dominic, who's representing Africa. And they are going to be sharing their business plans with us in 10 minutes tomorrow. We have a panel of judges that are outstanding from each of those regions that will be asking them questions about their business. If you're an entrepreneur, listen to these judges. They're going to ask questions that you want to go back and look at your own plan. And then we're going to select a winner. So the total grand prize is $10,000 for the winner, $8,000 for the second place, $5,000 for third place, and our honorable mention receives $2,000. Our international winner also gets the trophy. We have a beautiful trophy that was designed many years ago by our Ukraine partners. This is a way to support your region, but it's also a way. We have a People's Choice Award. The audience can choose for $1,000 award. And so it's a great way to celebrate the hard work that these entrepreneurs have done to create kingdom businesses and to showcase them. So we invite everybody to come. Lorna Mutegi from Sunariko Center in Kenya, and I will be emceeing this event. It is a fun event. It's the highlight. I'm sorry, it's the highlight of the year.
I know. That's why I gave that to you. I know it is.
That's the bottom line. It's the highlight.
I understand. Well, you know what? If you're listening to this and thought, oh man, I didn't get a chance to come to Nehemiah Week. I want to be a part of that business plan competition. I want to see that. It is free to attend. So check it out in the chat box. There is a link for you to register. It is not too late. Register, bring your friends, and then come and attend, and then be a part of the voting and vote for your favorite, because they get a vote audience choice award. There's a prize money with that. And a shameless plug, I'm voting for the USA this year to bring home the trophy. But you know, that was just a shameless plug, so you can do that. But I wouldn't want to judge it.
I have no favorite, Wendie.
I know you don't. You never do, because you love them all. They're all amazing. I would not want to be a judge because they're all amazing. But you know what? It's still not over. Saturday is the State of the Ministry address. Now, if you're sitting out there going, what are those crazy ladies talking about? Who is Nehemiah Project? I can't imagine that the whole world doesn't know yet. But if you're wondering, who is Nehemiah Project? And really, what are they doing? Come to the State of the Ministry address. First of all, we have David Benham, who is going to be speaking from the Benham brothers. He's going to be doing our keynote address. And 2 of my favorite news people and meteorologists ever, Vanessa and Jason Brewer, will be emceeing again this year. I mean, amazing. That's just amazing couple, you know, who really walk out, you know, what it is to be kingdom entrepreneurs as well. And they're just amazing. They'll be emceeing. We'll get to announce the winner of the business plan competition. Rena will be speaking, if I'm not mistaken, at the state of the ministry. And then you'll get to hear about what we've been doing over the last year and what our goals are for next year and how you can walk along with us. This is not an event you want to miss because it's free. Now, I know I got Victor in the background going, ladies, clock, clock, clock. But I cannot leave them without two things. Number one, you want to attend because we have a special. If you thought, oh man, I really am ready to get involved. I need to build a kingdom business. Well, guess what? If you are registered for Nehemiah Week, you can take advantage of our specials, and we have special offers. So if you're wanting to take classes, whatever, you need to attend and find out what those specials are, because this is once a year kind of thing, and you want to take, and these specials end at midnight on Saturday. So we'll put it in the chat box so that you can register. And the other thing is, if you register, then you can get next year's Nehemiah Week, which Nick Volnicek will be our keynote, for $49. It is a $400 conference ticket, and you can purchase it this week for $49. Can you believe that?
Wow, it's wonderful, because our theme next year is the royal priesthood, and he'll be a part of that and leading us in that direction as part of our, which is a new curriculum that comes out of our Sustainable Church Initiative. So many things are happening at Nehemiah Project. You want to be there on Saturday. Well, come Friday, come tomorrow, hear the competition. You'll get a little bit of it, but on Saturday, hear all about what's happening and what is to come. What are the plans going forward? How are we looking forward to seeing what God has for Nehemiah Project and for biblical entrepreneurs around the world?
Well, you need to come back tomorrow. We're gonna what happened at Nehemiah Week, right? We're gonna do a recap after the International Business Plan competition. So you want to come back tomorrow? I believe it's the same time. Debra and I will be back with Lorna to talk about that International Business Plan and what happened. I cannot wait. Thank you guys so much. Thanks, Debra, for joining me today on this podcast.
Thank you, Wendie. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you. God bless you all.
Bye-bye.